Hello there everyone and welcome back to another review, and I'm happy to have with me once again in the Ebert seat the lovely Debbie D'Angelo. Debbie, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
And the movie that we are going to review today is Grown Ups. Grown Ups opened nationwide on June 25th, 2010, and it stars Adam Sandler, Kevin James, David Spade, Rob Schneider, and Chris Rock. And this film comes to us from director Dennis Dugan, who started out his career as a television actor but has graduated to feature film directing, including Happy Gilmore, I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, and Beverly Hills Ninja. And at this point, I usually turn it over to my guest critic to tell us a little bit about the plot or the storyline, but seeing as I watched this for about an hour and 45 minutes and couldn't find one, I wish you good luck in explaining to the audience what this is about.
Oh, please. Please, are you telling me you didn't like this movie?
Oh my God. This movie is horrific.
It is not.
This movie is terrible.
From start to end. I laughed completely. I will agree, finding the plot's a little difficult.
Okay, here's the plot. They're the championship team in 1978 grade school, and they play for a coach, and the coach passes away 30 years later, and then they come back to the coach's funeral. There's the story, people. You've just heard the whole story in about 10 seconds. Am I lying?
That happens, but of course, looking back on it, what you realize is you're looking at these five guys reflecting on their lives with their families there, but it's so comedic, you do kind of lose that. But you know what? Not every movie has to be like Dr. Zhivago or something deep, you know? It was just
well, trust me, this one isn't
no,
deep, people. This one is not deep at all.
It's not. It's superficial, but you will laugh from beginning to end. The whole entire theater was laughing.
Well, I'll tell you, I think that right off the bat, the problem that I have with this movie is that's the plot line. The plot about going to see their basketball coach that has passed away, and every other moment of this film is a Saturday Night Live 5-minute skit. Well, here's the 5-minute skit of us going to the water park, and here's the 5-minute skit of us, you know, with the rope tied to the tree. There was no smooth, continuous story that was given to the audience. There was nothing the story didn't progress at all. Every time this story even remotely tried to be meaningful or sincere, it fell flat on its face.
Does every movie have to be meaningful?
Every movie has to have some kind of meaning to it. Otherwise, I start asking myself the question of, why am I here?
It does. I mean, if you look at it closely, you see where Adam Sandler and some of those lead actors are saying, you know, my gosh, is this what my life has come to? And they want to do things a little differently. But you know what? That's not what it's about. To me, it is just a fun movie. It's a nice summertime movie. You could bring the kids to this movie, and it will just make you laugh and feel good.
I know Adam Sandler was credited as half of the writing team that made this movie, and I really think that he just sat down and probably within like 20 minutes he churned out this script, called his buddies and said, hey, I wrote a movie for all of us to be in, and they all agreed to come and do it. And I just think it was, with the talent that went into making this movie, I think these are 5 of the funniest men on the planet. I mean, this movie should have been much, much better than this. I just think it's a complete waste of time.
Did you laugh?
I did laugh. I'm not saying that I didn't laugh. I mean, like I said, with these guys in the movie... Well, let me ask you this.
Did you feel good when you walked out?
No, I felt like I got taken for my 8.25.
Oh my God.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Chris Rock was wasted in this project?
Yeah,
he's not even in it.
Yeah, I don't really think they highlighted his character, and Rob Schneider's character was a bumbling idiot, but you know what? It didn't matter. It was just a lighthearted comedy.
I'm sorry. I just think that when I think about the nanny joke, they kept going on about Adam Sandler's nanny. That joke wasn't funny in the first place, and they kept going on and on with this thing like it kept getting funnier. Then his children, the fact that he didn't want his children to be spoiled, I thought that completely didn't work at all. And
the problem is you took this movie way too seriously.
It's not even really that.
Way too seriously.
I just think that, like I said, with the talent pool that went into making this film, it just should have had some kind of substance to it. At least some kind of substance, and there was nothing to this movie.
Well, probably, except for I went into it just wanting to laugh and knowing, having 5 funny people, that it was going to be a funny movie. I didn't think, oh my gosh, it's going to be meaningful. I'm going to learn something about life from it.
Well, I wasn't expecting that either, but I will say that there was like a subplot that they were going to maybe go to Milan because Adam Sandler's wife, Salma Hayek, who's also wasted in this movie, she looks
great in the swimsuit.
She's a fashion. She does look great. I'll give her that. She has some fashion line, and they're going to go over it for her fashion designs over in Milan. And I was really in the theater hoping that they would have went to Milan because the movie probably would have ended about 45 minutes sooner than it did. I don't know. In my opinion, there's almost nothing to recommend in this movie.
There's something wrong with you.
Almost nothing to recommend in this movie.
I loved it. I loved it. Go see it. You'll agree with me.
Okay, now let me ask you, how many stars are you going to give this thing?
3.
3?
Yep.
That would be a favorable recommendation?
Yes, it would.
Okay, now you were awake, right?
Yeah,
she
kept me awake.
She was awake, I can't believe that.
I know another couple who goes to movies and he falls asleep at every single one. She gets so frustrated. Guess what? This one did not put him to sleep.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, this is just one of the times when we just couldn't differ. We couldn't even differ more. I'll tell you, in my opinion, I'm giving this 1 star because I'm going to give it 1 star because
between the two of us, it's a 4-star.
Not. Yeah, that's about the only way it's going to get 4 stars if you times it by 4 minute stars I give it. But I'll say this: I look at a movie like last year's movie with Johnny Depp called Public Enemies, where all this talent went into making this movie, and it just did nothing for me. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna say that I didn't laugh, but I'm gonna say that I'm gonna give this 1 star because I thought it was just absolutely disappointing. I thought there would at least be some kind of a plot there, some kind of a storyline there, and it really just did nothing for me at all. So you're gonna give it. She's gonna give it a favorable review and give it 3 stars. I'm only gonna say keep your money. Go see Toy Story 3. It was much better. I'm gonna give this 1 star. And I think we can wrap this up, I guess.
I think so. You guys go see it and then log on his Facebook page and tell us what you thought.
Yeah, there you go. And Jebby, thank you for joining us. Even though I don't think she's right on this one.
I know he's not right.
But we're going to wrap this up and we're going to say, and remember people, we're not always right, only when it comes to the movies. And thank you very much for your attention.